Welcome to Afros in the Diaspora. My name is Sarah. I am your host, and together we will vent, rant, laugh, and cry as we discuss the highs and lows of being an immigrant. Stay tuned for stories that will inspire, inform, entertain, and give hope. This is Afros in the Diaspora. Hey y'all, this is Sarah, the host of Afros in the Diaspora podcast, and today I have a solo episode for y'all. I hope you're all having a great December. I hope you're enjoying this holiday season. I know it can be really difficult sometimes being an immigrant, being new in the country, not having any, family or close friends around. And I completely understand. And I'm just kind of here to share some hope and share some tips on some things that can help you with having a relatively normal holiday period or holiday season, and some things that may help you with just being at peace with whatever may be going on right now in your life, however you may be spending your Christmas, whether you're with people, whether you're not with people, whether you're by yourself, whether you feel lonely, whatever the case may be. I'm excited about sharing my own experience with Christmas and the holiday season, and at the end I'll give some tips on some things you can do to kind of help make this Christmas a unique one for good, for a good reason, not for a bad reason. Yeah, so for myself, like I said, I moved here a few years ago. I believe it was 2015, and when I first moved here, I moved here as a student. I didn't really have any friends. I didn't have any family here. I've mentioned this before, but when I first moved here, I moved here as a student. And my mom was with me the first week. She just kind of helped me settle down before, traveling back. But in that week, my mom and I met this wonderful lady. And, when we met her, she invited us into her home. For those that have listened to the podcast so far, Dr. Chineye, her mom and her family, they accepted us. They welcomed us, and it was just such a great connection that was made. And so that Christmas, she was gracious enough to invite me to spend it with her and her family. That was a gift that I did not even realize that I needed, because spending the Christmas with other Nigerians who considered me as a part of their family, who were gracious enough to have me in their home and take me to Boxing Day shopping, and it was just such a blessing to have at that time. And looking back, I really do not know what my Christmas would have been. It would not have been as great as it was. So massive gratitude to them. That was my first Christmas here. I ended up spending Christmas and the first couple days of the new year there before, life kind of went back to its normal routine. It was a great time. We ate, we went to church, we watched movies, we cooked, gisted, talked. It was a blessing. Shout out to them forever and ever and ever. But other than that, some other Christmases, I've had some really kind people that have invited me over to their homes to just have Christmas with them. And not just me, there's this particular family from this church I used to go to, and they'll connect with, young people, other immigrants, people that, they are aware, or they know that, oh, this person moved here for school, they're here by themselves, they don't really have any family. And they'll just reach out to folks and just be like, hey, would you like to come to our house for Christmas? And we'll go there. And when I went there the first time, there was food, there was games. It was such an amazing vibe, So I've been fortunate enough to have people in my life that have deemed it fit to invite me over to their house, even when I, embarrass myself. But they have been kind enough to invite me and to have me in their space, and we'll play games. I get really competitive with the games, but then I lose, and it's just laughs. But that has been such a blessing, because without these people, helping me create a sense of community, a sense of belonging, it can be really, really easy to go down a rabbit hole of self-pity and just be like, oh my gosh, what am I doing? And other than the first Christmas here where I got to spend a couple of weeks with this family friend of mine, for the other Christmases that I've had, other holiday seasons that I've had, even though I have been invited to dinner or games night or stuff like that, There are days where you're by yourself, right? It's usually Christmas Day, you're invited out. You're by yourself Christmas Eve, you're by yourself Boxing Day, you're by yourself, like, so even though there are pockets where people invite you to share in community, to break bread and have fun, sometimes, that loneliness is just still there because you still have to spend the remaining days by yourself. Meanwhile, if you were home, it would have looked different. And for me, back home, we had like Christmas traditions that in the moment, like I never realized that they were Christmas traditions, right? So, for instance, at home, we'll all as a family eat together from the same plate. And like Christmas morning was pounded yam. That was our breakfast. In the morning, my mom, myself, the girls would be in the kitchen cooking, making the soup, making the poundo yam, the amala, the semo, whatever the case may be, the wheat, whatever it is, whatever we end up eating. But it will be a swallow with the soup. And all of us, I'm telling you, both my dad, my mom, my uncles that are around, aunties that are around, my siblings, all of us will gather together and eat food from the same plate. Like it'll be a big bowl of the soup with the meats and everything, and then it'll be, the swallow, the pounded yam, whatever, will be divided into sections for everyone so that no one is encroaching on anyone's on anyone's portion, but the soup will eat together from the same bowl. And looking back, like I really, really appreciate those memories of eating together. I feel like for me, there's just something about that like just reinforce love and care. It also would get dramatic sometimes when a person is taking too many pieces of meat and someone else is not taking any. So like those moments of drama were also hilarious and I miss them all the same. But that act right there, like eating with my dad and my mom and all my siblings together, just for me is something I will like be blessed to take into my home when I do have my own like kids and stuff, because I think there's just something beautiful about that, something that just speaks so much to the community. And the like, even if you have beef, even if you're mad at your brother or your sister, whatever, for they did something, said something, whatever, when you're eating from the same plate, it just was there's just something about it that was really beautiful that I miss. That was the thing I missed the most, actually, when I moved here and I kind of starting life on my own and figuring out my own path. But I really miss that, and I will be blessed to have that opportunity again to get together as a family, with all of us together. But yeah, that's just an example, right? But in the moment, those things are kind of like silly. I'm like, oh, I wish I had my own, plate of soup so that no one's eating my meat and blah blah blah. But looking back, right? Hindsight is always 2020. But looking back, those moments are just beautiful moments. And the day would just be spent lazying, chilling, praying, relaxing, having fun together. But that particular eating together from the same bowl was just something that I loved and absolutely miss. But that's just one example. And it's just like it's very easy to take for granted, when you have your family around, when you have your loved ones around. It's very, very easy to take them for granted. It's easy to take the little tips or whatever that you have for granted. It's easy to take whatever the traditional whatever it is may be in your home. It may be very easy to take it for granted until you're by yourself and you're like, dang. Until you start adulting and you're like, whoa, 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 what? I actually miss this, and sometimes it takes you by surprise, even that. Ah, really? Ah, okay, okay, So there's a little bit of a recovery. I understand. For me, I also experienced a little bit of grief for those moments, like spending time with my family and stuff. But of course, being able to connect with them via on the phone was everything. So having those WhatsApp calls to check in on family, check in on my brothers and my sisters, check in on my parents, wish them a happy, a Merry Christmas, and just kind of chat and gist and go back and forth on the phone. Absolutely is a blessing. Technology is a blessing. I'll just say that. I truly cannot imagine how things were like a few decades ago because things were certainly not, as accessible. Technology was certainly not where it is right now. Communication between people from different continents was not, easy, right? So very, very grateful for the technology that we have that allows us to be in touch and in contact with family members, friends that are abroad, that are back home in Nigeria, on the continent, in the Caribbean, wherever home is. So yeah, it certainly uh, has been a blessing to be able to connect with them. So that was another like high point. So kind of helped with the feeling of loneliness. And I just want to say that loneliness, sometimes you can feel lonely whether you're by yourself or you're with a group of people, whether you're in a group of a big family, or it could be easy to still feel isolated, whether by yourself or in the midst of others. So loneliness is not just being by yourself. Like, it's possible to be alone but not lonely. So just wanted to say that. But it is common to feel lonely as an immigrant in a new country, right? Especially when you haven't really built your own community, built your own friend group, and stuff like that yet. It's very, very easy to feel isolated. It's very easy to feel like you're by yourself, you're lonely, especially at this time of year, right? In Nigeria, there's something we call Dirty December, where you go out for shows. There's just stuff to do the entire month of December, and by January you are broke, but you're happy broke because you had fun, in the during the holidays, right? So, uh, there's that December. There's You could go out with friends. There's more community. The cultures there, the food, the experiences, and stuff like that are very familiar. Very familiar. They're very. You have your friends. You have your family. For those that do have those things back home. But then when you move here, there's no Dirty December. In fact, it's cold outside. Right? So the fact that it's cold, you already do not want to go out, and the weather just kind of puts a little bit of a damper with things sometimes, because even if you could take a walk, even if you'd like to like take a walk outside or just see what events are going on, by the time you look at the weather app and it's telling you that it's about -15, you're like, hell no, I'm staying in my house. So sometimes it can be really tough, and I certainly experienced that a lot when I first moved here. Now things are a little bit better. I have some family here, and I have um, a more of a community for myself. So, and I feel like every year you kind of find what works and what doesn't, and you kind of go with what works. Um, so major shout out to the people who invited me over, or who still invite me over for games night or for Christmas, Thanksgiving, all those things. Those things are, you don't know how valuable it is. You don't know the change and the impact that it has on the person that you're inviting, who doesn't have a family here or who doesn't have community here. Like, it makes a world of difference, and they will never forget you, right? So shout out to the people who do that, because that makes all the difference, right? That makes all the difference, helping people feel like they are not alone. Even if they're by themselves, they don't have to be alone for Christmas. They don't have to be alone for the holidays. They can come, break bread and enjoy a Christmas meal with you. Like, there's just absolute beauty and power in that. And I hope that, you know, I can be that for someone or for people someday, truly. Yeah, so I would like to share some tips to having a good holiday as an immigrant, or as a person who may be by themselves. You've moved to a new country, whether it's Canada, the US, the UK, wherever it may be, whether you moved as a student, as a refugee, asylum seeker, permanent resident, whatever the case may be, however you moved here. It is very easy to feel isolated, to feel alone, just ordinarily, not to even mention Christmas. It's usually worse during the holidays, because by the time you turn on Netflix, it's mostly family movies. It's mostly, movies about love and finding your soulmate. Hallmark is in business during the holidays, and sometimes even social media, right? You start to see matching pajamas. If you're, single and by yourself, then it's a little bit worse, because now you're seeing matching pajamas, matching, Christmas sweaters and stuff with people, whether it's with their partner, husband, boyfriend, whatever, girlfriend, um, or it's just family photos of people having like matching pajamas for, both parents and the kids, and just having, looking like they're having a great time. And then you look around and you're like, damn, I'm by myself, right? It can be very deflating to feel that way, and to look around and just feel like, just feel down. Like, it's very easy to descend into a pity party. But I'm here to tell you that there's hope. Okay? There's hope. You do not have to throw yourself a pity party. You can have a content time by yourself. And yeah, I'm here to give some tips. The first tip I will give is prioritizing your self care, prioritizing you, because it's very, like I said, very easy to throw yourself a pity party. It's very easy to just think about all the things that you don't have, all the people that you don't have. You don't have friends, you don't have community. Oh, I moved here just like 3 months ago. The semester has been so hard. School has been so hard, and then you're just regretting all your life decisions. Like, was it even wise for me to come here in the first place? And you start to kind of doubt yourself and just feel down. And it's really easy to go down a rabbit hole of just kind of feeling down and feeling sad. And I just want to encourage you to have a little bit of a gratitude moment, to just be like, you know what, I have come a long way. Like, that's literally what it is. You have come a long way. You moved from your home to an entirely different country. Like, shout out to yourself, man. That is hard. That is not easy. There are people that will not do it, period. But you did, all in in an effort to, be better and do better for yourself and build the life of your dreams and stuff like that. So just remember that you did that. Like, you have come a long way. School was hard. School is always hard, but you know what? You're going to get through it. And by the time you blink, you would have graduated. But I just want to encourage you that there's a lot to be grateful for. You're alive, right? A lot of people are looking for visas. You got it. Right? A lot of people looking to travel. You got it. A lot of people were looking for an admission. You got it. Right? So just, choosing to look at things and be grateful for where you are in your journey right now is everything. So I'll encourage practicing gratitude, and practicing self care. So whatever self care looks like to you, if you need to run yourself a bath, do a skincare routine, listen to uplifting music, Christmas music, if you need to light a candle, if you need to stay off social media to just kind of take care of your mental health, if you know that you'll be triggered and start to feel sad or depressed or whatever the case may be, take some time off social media, take some time off and just breathe, right? Have moments to breathe and just remember that, yo, I got through this year. I am stronger than I was when the year started. I'm stronger. Like, you've gone through a lot and the year's ending and you made it, right? So that's something there. There's something there to be celebrated. So celebrate yourself, find ways to prioritize yourself, and this will kind of lead into my number 2 tip. Gift yourself something. So give yourself a gift, give yourself a present, whether it's as little as a massage or a manicure, whatever the case may be. Just give yourself a little gift, whether if it's something you've been wanting the entire year. You deserve it. Treat yourself, right? Give yourself a gift. Give yourself something that will put a smile on your face. Put a smile on your face. Gift yourself something. And then my number 3 point is just take some time to reflect. Take some time to think through your year, your journey through immigration. This is your first year, if this is your first year here, if this is your first year in whatever country you are in the diaspora, if this is your second, third, fourth, whatever the case may be, reflect on your goals, reflect on your journey. You've been here, you're in school right now. Reflect on your semester, the good, the bad, the ups and the downs, the beauty and the ugliness, the grind and the grit and everything. Like, reflect on everything, reflect on your journey, reflect on, the community that you've made, the friends that you made, whatever relationships you're in, relationships with family, friends. If you are in a relationship, reflect on all those things. Reflect on your year, reflect on your goals, and just see what goals you were able to meet this year and the ones that you were not able to, right? If you were not able to meet it, we go again next year, right? Where there's life, there's hope, you can do it, right? So, and whatever that looks like, whatever reflecting looks like to you, if it looks like journaling, writing down your goals on a piece of paper, if it looks like you just sitting down and talking to yourself, like if it looks like you just recording your thoughts somewhere, whatever it looks like, if it looks like you writing a vision board or making a prayer list or whatever the case may be, just reflect on your journey. Check in with yourself, the goals that you were able to accomplish this year, the goals that you were not quite able to accomplish this year, the goals that you did not even set, but you accomplished this year, right? And you can even start setting goals for the new year. You can even start putting together, you know what, next year I would like A, B, C, and D, right? You can start kind of putting those down on paper, or however you set your goals. If you want to do a New Year's resolution, this may be the time to start thinking about what that would look like. And yeah, you can also do this by yourself, or you can do this with friends if you have if you have any close friends around. But I think reflecting is important, and it's also, you know, in moments of reflection, gratitude also comes in, right? Because you've been able to achieve, out of A, B, C, and D, you're able to do A and half of B. That is something. And honestly, even if you were not able to do any one of them, you made it through the year. Okay? You made it through the year. So even if it's just reflecting on, you know, on that, the fact that you freaking made it, you're alive, you're not dead yet, you know? So I think, yeah, there's beauty in that. There's power in that. Reflecting and taking the time to kind of recharge yourself and kind of check in with yourself about the year, its effect on you, how it went for you, stuff like that. That is incredibly important and valuable. And you can, or you can, if you can even have a vision, if you need to, like, if you want to put together vision boards with your friends, make it a whole event, make it a whole sleepover. Sometimes, like, your friends are not in the same city, and you can just be like on FaceTime together, talking through your goals, talking through your, you know, vision for the next year, the things you'd like to manifest, the things you'd like to happen. Yeah, that's my third tip. My fourth tip is, again, actually connecting with other people virtually. So WhatsApp has come in clutch for immigrants all over the world. Shout out to the minds behind WhatsApp, but truly it has been a source of connection, a way to connect with family and friends all over the world. And that is a blessing. Again, I'm glad that I'm not an immigrant in the year 1960 or in decades before now, because I do not know how I would have survived. And shout out to those that did, right? Because they have paved the way for where we are now. So yes, connect with others through WhatsApp. What, you know, if you use, there's so many apps, by the way. WhatsApp, IMO, just regular old Facebook and Instagram. Like, you can use those as well to just communicate with family, communicate with friends, have video calls, FaceTime calls. Like, just call and chat, call and, you know, say Happy New Year and bug your parents or bug your siblings or bug your friends. Like, just call, and, you know, and sometimes, most times you'll also receive calls too, but, you know, just connect with people, even if your loved ones, your friends are not in the same city as you, in the same space as you. There's nothing stopping you from saying hello, nothing stopping them from saying hello. So do it, right? That's a way to help you remember, right? It's sometimes you forget that, sometimes it can feel so isolating that you forget that you actually do have people that love you, but you do, you know, it does not have to be that isolating. You actually do have people that love you, whether you think you do or not. So yes, connect with people. Oh, also, by the way, if you know, while you're connecting with people virtually, if you have people in the same city as you, loved ones, friends, connect with them. Go visit them without calling. I don't know if that's good advice, but you know, go visit your friends, go visit your family, and you can invite them to visit as well. So number 5, go volunteer. It really helps put in perspective sometimes, to just see the level of need there is out in the world, you know? So volunteering at a shelter, volunteering at a shelter for addicts, or a shelter for people who are suffering from domestic abuse, or a food kitchen, things like that. It really helps put in perspective that, as bad as your life may be, which is absolutely valid, as bad as you feel like things are looking, when you kind of help people and you see that, whoa, it could be worse, it kind of inspires gratitude, for real, for real. You start to kind of look at yourself and your situation with a little bit of a different lens, because you realize that, yo, I have so much to be grateful for. There are people who legitimately do not have homes. Literally, they do not have a place to rest their head. They do not have belongings because they've been kicked out and everything was like thrown away, thrown out, right? There are people who are addicts at this time of year. It's really hard. It's really cold outside. And there are people who literally are helpless. So volunteering in, you know, shelters, like food banks and food kitchens and stuff like that, to just kind of help those that really need it this period. It kind of helps you feel more grateful. It helps you build friends, build community, even in that way, with other volunteers and stuff like that. So volunteering is a really good way to spend the holidays too, maybe 1 or 2 days. Number 6, go for events in your city. or wherever you are at. Go on Eventbrite and see the events that are in your city, see the events that are going on in your town, wherever you are, and go for them. Go for the concert, go for there are free events, there are paid events, whatever works for you and your pocket. Go, just go. Step outside of your comfort zone, just go outside, right? In Calgary there's the zoo lights, so just go and look at the lights, right? Sometimes you could just take a walk around your neighborhood and just see the way people decorate their houses for Christmas, right? So stuff like that actually helps, get you in higher spirits and uplifted for the Christmas. So just go out, go to events, go to, if you're a party person, go for the parties that are being organized, the end of the year parties and whatnot. Go and enjoy, right? If you are a Christian and there's a Christmas Eve church service or whatever, go for it. Just leave your house. Actually, go out for events and things like that in your city. My seventh tip would be organizing activities with your friends. So, other than crashing your friend's house, aka visiting without calling ahead, um, which honestly became a thing, I realized was a thing when I moved to Canada, because in Nigeria, people did not really call ahead. Like, they were just passing through this area and they're like, oh yeah, my friend is here, it lives around here, they will come over to their friend's house and have lunch and have a great time, right? So, well, that's by the way. But visiting your friends, having sleepovers, having coffee, dinner, you can also organize activities with friends. So that could look like games night. You can have games night, you can have just dinner, brunch, you can have trivia. You can just organize events with your friends and just have fun, right? You can also invite people over to your house for dinner. You can invite other people. If you do not get invited for Christmas dinner, you can invite other people over to your house for Christmas dinner. You can have a friendsgiving and just have a little potluck where everyone brings a meal or food or some sort of food, and then you all eat each other's food, enjoy each other's company, have conversations and chat and things like that with each other during Christmas. That is also a beautiful way to build connection, to help you feel not so isolated, because it's so easy to feel isolated, but everyone, like, sometimes I feel like we're all living the same lives because you know there's no experience that's new under the sun, right? Whatever you're going through, a billion other people are experiencing it, and a billion people already have experienced it, and they got through it. So isolation is a lie. Truly, it's a lie that the mind just, like, it's a mind trick that the mind just plays on us. But if we allowed ourselves to connect a little bit more with people, you'll find that your experience is not unique. That tough time you're going through, your friend may have gone through it and they may have a word of advice for you that would actually help. So, yeah, invite others over to dinner. Or, if you do not get invited, invite others for dinner. Have a Christmas potluck where people bring different foods. Just be intentional. About spending your time with people that you care about, that care about you, that with whom you, at the very least, even if you're not friends, like, you can actually have fun in their presence. That also qualifies. That's also okay. So yeah, invite people over, spend time with people, and I believe that is my final tip. I don't know if I missed any. I'll probably remember something while I go to bed tonight. Um, like my brain always does, but that is okay. Oh, yes, I have one last tip actually, and that is the reality of the matter is not everybody celebrates Christmas. Not everybody celebrates, the holidays. For some people, it is just a random, normal period of, like, the end of the year is just what it is. Some people do not actually celebrate Christmas, and that is completely normal. That is completely fine. You do not need to, no one needs to judge anyone else for celebrating or not celebrating Christmas. But if you do not celebrate, you can absolutely, like, celebrate, like, enjoy with those that do. There's nothing wrong with that. If that's not, too much for you. And also, a lot of jobs pay a little bit extra to work during the holidays. So if you did not know that, now you know. So, you can also choose to work, if you prefer to volunteer but be paid for your time. You can work. You can actually just call into work, whatever your work is, if it would allow you to do that. You can just choose to work, or you can just choose to take that period as a break and just sleep throughout. Like, that's okay. If you want to just watch movies throughout the entire time, that is fine. If you just want to snack and, binge Netflix shows or whatever, do that, right? There's no right or wrong way to spend the holidays. People have different experiences with the holidays. Let's just all be kind and gracious towards each other, and that will go a long way. So I hope these tips are helpful. I hope that something here, one or two things will work for you. I hope one or two of these will kind of help you have a better point of view about spending the end of the year in a new country as an immigrant, as a person who may not have their own community. So yeah, I know a lot of these tips have been very, very helpful for me, and I hope that they're helpful for you all too. And now that we are at the end of the episode, I do have an announcement. The Afros in the Diaspora podcast is going on an end of the year holiday break. So we will be taking the next couple of weeks off, and our next podcast episode will be released on the 12th of January, 2024. Thank you all for the support. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for following on social media. It has meant everything to me. This podcast literally almost did not happen, but maybe someday I will tell that story. For now, I'm going to just wish you all an amazing holiday season. Merry Christmas. I hope you have all had a wonderful year, 2023. And even if you haven't, year 2024 is coming. We'll try again next year, right? And I hope that year 2024 is good to you. I hope that year 2024 is a blessed year for you. I hope you feel loved and cared for in the new year. And I hope that all your dreams come true. I hope all your prayers are answered. I hope all your desires are met. And I just wish you all the best in the year 2024. Thank you all, and have a good holiday season. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Afros in the Diaspora. I hope this episode left you feeling inspired and hopeful. To engage, feel free to like, follow, share, and subscribe to Afros in the Diaspora on all social media and podcast platforms. Remember to leave a review and a rating. If you would like to be a guest, please reach out. Send an email to hi@afrosinthediaspora.com. That is hi@afrosinthediaspora.com. Or send us a DM on Instagram @afrosinthediaspora. Remember, there is beauty in our stories and power in our voices. Together, we are stronger. Until next time.